Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to take a look at the Transformers Legacy Evolution Erial and Dion Wardon 2-pack. Let me know what you think of both of these figures in the comment section down below. Is this a pickup or a pass? Now let's take a look at the figures packaging. So here we have the packaging. Starting at the very front, we have Transformers on the side. We have the Legacy Evolution logo at the top. We do have Wardon 2-pack in white text on the side. We have a really nice artwork shot of Erial and Dion. And if we actually do flip to the top, we have another Legacy Evolution logo with Shockwave, Megatron, and Soundwave right there floating, looking very, very cool. If we do turn to the side here, we have close-up of Erial. If we do turn to the other side, we have another close-up of Dion. And if we flip to the back, we have several product shots showing both figures' robot and alt modes. Erial transforms in 19 steps and Dion transforms in 20. And that is pretty much it for the packaging. So let's now get into the review. So since this is a 2-pack, I'm going to start off with Dion here. Let's start off by taking a look at the details, starting at the very top with that head sculpt with some white for the face, some light piping blue for the eyes, some silver for the main crest section with some orange for the main helmet section. I do like this kind of whitish blue mixture for the windscreen with some dark blue surrounding it with some silver and more blue for the main stomach region. I do like the orange for the form and bicep, and there's some gray for the shoulder and some whitish gray for the hands, and there's some more where the legs are. I do like all the nut and bolt and panel detailing there as well. Overall looking very cool. And I do like the wheels actually at the front of the legs, which do roll, mostly coming into play later for the alt mode. And I do like all of the nut and bolt panel detailing done in that dark blue. I do like the legs here looking really well detailed and sculpted, but it seems like it's a bit boring. Probably could use some more paint apps, maybe another shade of blue or some silver. Actually, the previous use of this mold, Orion Pax, he actually had a small silver stripe where the foot was. I think that would have been really nice if they kept that. Unfortunately, they did not. On the back, no surprise here. Of course, this is like the third or fourth use of this mold, so there is a bit of kibble and waffling, but nothing surprising or unexpected. This is pretty much typically how it looks with the back of this mold. There's actually some new molding here for accessory storage, these posts, so there is a purpose, so it really does not bother me, but there is some waffling in the back of the arms and the back itself, but pretty clean and compact where the legs are concerned, so that's really good. And that is pretty much it for details. So now for articulation, the head can look up and down, tilt side to side, look left and right. The arms can move out and in, forward and back. There is a bicep rotation. There is an elbow bend to a very good degree. If we do move the arms out of the way, there is a waist rotation, fully unhindered, really stiff on my copy, which is good to see. The legs can kick forward and back. Out to the side, there is, of course, rotation at the top of the leg, a knee bend, and an ankle pivot to a very good degree, and a toe bend. Overall, very good for a deluxe. Nothing surprising or unexpected. It's, again, like the third or fourth version of this mold. So if you have Cup or Orion Pax, you know exactly what to expect here. Would have been nice if there was some wrist rotation, because a part of transformation, you never really transform the hands. There's, no folding movement with the hands. There's nothing that prevents it from having a wrist rotation. So that's a bit unfortunate, but again, no surprise. We've kind of known that since the beginning, since Cup, so nothing crazy there. But as for his accessories, this is actually a huge improvement over the past few versions of this mold. So he does come with the same two accessories from Cup and Orion Pax, the small pistol and the energon canister. I'm kind of sick of this accessory, to be honest. It came with Orion Pax, it came with Cup, and there's actually been several versions of Cup. There's a Buzzworthy Bumblebee release, so really I'm kind of tired of this accessory. I think they probably could have just ditched this one and just left it out, because this figure comes with 4, including that canister. If they removed it, it would have been 3. 3 accessories for deluxe is still pretty good, and this is an exclusive pack. Or maybe they could have thrown in a good one, like a sword or something, like a new one. I think that would have been really nice, because as it is, I do like the reference. It's mostly for Cup. It's he actually gives the Alicons or the Sharkticons in the movie. It's a good reference. It makes sense, but these characters, Dion and Orion Pax, were never in that scene, so it's getting a bit old in my opinion. That's just my opinion anyway, but I do like the blaster. It is Blast for Peace compatible, and you can, of course, put it in his hand if you want to. And the same goes for the canister, but there's actually two brand new identical accessories which can be stored in several different ways. So as you can see, of course, there's posts on the accessories, there's ports in the hands, so you can actually have them dual wield them, or you can actually combine them. So there's a tab and slot, and you can store that in this hand if you want to, and they are Blast Piece compatible, in case you're wondering. But there is actually a third way, which is definitely my preferred way, so I'm just going to wiggle this up. And unfortunately, tolerances on this figure are not the greatest. These arms pop off so much, you know, because there's that same gimmick that was with Cup and around packs, where you can remove the limbs to recreate that scene, you know, where Cup is being ripped apart by that octopus, which is a cool reference and a cool feature, but I do really wish the arms were a bit more tight because they pop off quite a bit. I do apologize if that happens again in this video, but what you can do is actually flip to the back here. There's those posts and there's ports, and this can actually just store on the back like that and kind of form back cannons, which I think is a really cool feature. Definitely my preferred way to store them. I think that looks super cool, and I really do like how they're Blast Piece compatible, so you can attach some effects pieces and actually look like he's shooting missiles from behind him. I think that's really cool. And again, you can store the blaster in his hand. Same goes for that canister. And there we have him fully armed. Pretty good accessories again, just kind of tired of the canister. It's been used quite a bit and it doesn't really do much. But here is a quick mold comparison. I do not have the original Cup. I've never really seen a reason to, because I actually have the Titans Return release of Cup, and I think that's a really solid figure. Maybe if I find Cup on sale or clearance one day, I'll give it a shot, but so far these are the two versions of this mold that I have, and I think they look pretty cool side by side. You know, that pre-war design, very simple, not a ton of surface detailing, but I actually do quite like it. They're very simple, but I think it really works. So mold changes wide, the head sculpt, the chest, the crotch, and of course these leg panels here. As you can see, there's more spikes and details on the knee area there. They're a bit more simple on this version, but as you can see, of course, with the shoulders and the arms, those are pretty much the exact same thing. And if you do want a side view here, we do have those new added accessories on the back. With those moved off, the entire back panel area between both figures is pretty much the exact same thing. The only addition is those posts. And if we do look at the back of the legs and the back of the figure, as you can see, quite similar where the back of the legs are concerned and the back of the waist. So there is quite a few new pieces here and there, but you can definitely tell they are the same mold. And quite a few areas, but do let me know in the comment section down below what is your favorite use of this mold so far. These two here are on Pax or Dion, and of course there was a Studio Series 86 Cup. There was actually two releases of that figure. Please do specify if you like one of those cups. There was a Buzzworthy Bumblebee release, and there was also the mainline release. Let me know in the comments. But that is pretty much it for the mold comparison. So let's now get down to transformation. So now for transformation, what you're going to do is rotate the head all the way around, just like that. Then you can actually untab the shoulder from the main body of the figure. There's tabs on the main body itself, and there's slots on the inside of this arm piece. Then what you're going to do is actually flip the figure around. You're going to use this entire slider joint on a pin and just slide the entire shoulder back and make sure the arm actually faces back as well. And you're going to want to make sure the hand is facing up like that. Do the same thing on the other side. Just make sure that hand and arm is all the way back and up like that. So then you can actually untab this entire back piece from the main body. There's two tabs here and slots on the inside of this panel. You're going to fold that down and out. Then you can bring the wheels out and into place. So then you're actually just going to collapse this entire top chest assembly like this. As you can see, of course, there's tabs on the inside of this panel, and there are slots on the chest itself, and that's just going to tab into place just like that. There we go. And then you're going to push the arm assembly in to fill in those gaps, and sometimes the position of the arm can be messed up, so again, just make sure the open hand is facing up like that. Then we're actually going to move on to the legs, so just spread these out. For some added clearance, you're going to fold in the feet like that, and then you're going to open up these panels on the front of the leg, and then you're just going to hinge this entire assembly in like that and put it at an angle. There is a slot there and there is a tab there. That's just going to align up into place like that. Same thing on the other side. Just tab that into place. There we go. And then you're going to push the legs, push the arms through the legs in this gap here. So just push these through like that. Make sure they're properly straightened out like that. There we go. And then it's just a matter of folding out these panels here that are on the legs. Just fold these out Fold these out, and there's a tab on this piece, and there's a slot on the front rim section of the tire, and that's just going to tab into place like that. So just align that up and tab it into place like that. And there we have one side done. And then do the same thing on the other side, just tab that into place, and there we go. And then you're just going to carefully flip these panels down. Another annoying thing with tolerance-wise is these panels untab and move all the time, so I do hope they don't pop off. Hopefully it's just my copy, I really don't know. I've seen other reviews where it's better, but hopefully it's just a few copy type thing. Then you're actually going to tab the arms into place. There is a tab on the bottom side of this panel, and then you're going to use the port from the hand. You're going to tab that into place. And as you can see, of course, there's corresponding tabs and slots on those back panels. And then you're going to tab that into place. And there we have Dion in his vehicle mode. That's pretty much it for transformation. So let's now take a look at the details of Erial. Here we have Erial in her robot mode. Let's take a look at the details, starting at the very top with a head sculpt. We have some white for the face, some blue for the eyes, some pink for the lips, and some pink for the main helmet section with a little bit of yellow at the ponytail, and the rest is done in that same pink color. I do like these kind of form armor pieces done in white and pink, and the sculpt work for the hand is actually quite impressive. I do like how all the fingers are spread apart. There is no finger articulation, I just kind of like the appearance of them. And there's more of that dark pink for the chest with some really cool venting detailing, and some white for the main stomach region with some pink for the crotch, and some more white for the top of the legs with some really cool armor pieces at the knees done in maroon. And we do have a bit of kibble at the side of the legs. It looks bad, to be honest, it does, but I've kind of gotten used to it over a while because this is like the 4th or 5th use of this mold, so it really doesn't bother me as much as it used to. And there's some pink for the feet. And if we do flip to the back, overall pretty well filled in for the back of the legs. I actually really like how you can see the exhaust pipes sticking out. I think that's pretty cool. Back of the arms, you know, not much waffling. Overall pretty well filled in. There is a bit of a backpack, but as far as backpacks go, it really doesn't look that bad. Appearance-wise, it's not really ugly. We usually have the handlebars. There's actually a bit of gear and kind of mechanical detailing for the inside of the motorcycle. We actually have the windscreen. So overall, a really well detailed figure in my opinion. So now for articulation, if you have RC or any other use of this mold, you know exactly what to expect here. The head can look up and down, side to side. The arms can move out and in, forward and back. There is bicep rotation, elbow bends. There is a wrist rotation. There is no waist rotation for a good reason. I can easily excuse this. This section actually is locked into place, so you really cannot rotate the waist. It's mostly due to transformation, so I can easily excuse that. The legs can go forward and back, out to the side. There is rotation at the top of the leg. There is a knee bend to a very good degree. And last but not least, there is an ankle pivot. But as far as deluxes go, you know, just keeping the fact that this is like the 4th use of this mold off to the side. If you've never had this mold before, for deluxe, it's pretty good articulation. And the tolerances, at least on my copy, all the joints are actually pretty tight. So that's really good to see. So now for her accessories, she does come with a sort of disc launcher accessory. It's kind of a thing that is required to be included because this does form the front wheel of the motorcycle. So no surprise there. It's the same sort of feature and weapon that came with the previous uses. I never really understood what they were going for. You can sort of store it on the forum. I think it's supposed to be like a disc launcher. That's what we're guessing. There's never really been a concrete name for what it is supposed to be, but I typically just store it at the back. That really makes the most sense to me. So there's actually corresponding tabs and slots, and you're just supposed to align these up and tap them into place. So just tap them together, and this will form the front wheel of the motorcycle, and then you can store on the back. I think it just looks better that way, much more clean. So there is a post and ports, and you can just plug that into place, and I actually prefer to have it flat like that, but if you want to, you can actually have it facing forward. Either way. But now for her final accessory, it's actually this brand new pistol, which is good to see. This is an exclusive pack. It makes sense that it comes with a new accessory, but unfortunately, they did not include the Energon-infused shield accessory that came with RC. And it really doesn't make sense to me that they did not include it, because this is an exclusive pack. I'm not really sure how it's supposed to be revealed or released. I think it might be like an Amazon or Hasbro Pulse kind of exclusive of some sort. I know it's not going to be a mainline thing. It will be exclusive to some site. Not sure what yet. They'll probably come out with how it will be available for pre-order. I'm assuming probably soon. Maybe it'll be released at San Diego Comic-Con. I really don't know. I actually got this on eBay, if you were wondering how I got it so early. But this figure should come with more accessories, not less, because every other use of this mold has included that Energon shield accessory. RC is a mainline, and she came with it. So I never really understood that. It really doesn't make sense to me. Some people, might not be bothered by it because they didn't like the shield. I actually really thought it was pretty cool. It can actually form one big shield, or you can split it into half and form some blades. So I thought it was a pretty cool accessory. A bit disappointed that they didn't include it. But just in general, even if you like the accessory or not, it's an exclusive. It should come with more accessories, not less. And Dion, he's actually a really good example. Her pack mate or figure mate in this set, he actually comes with the original accessories that came with cup, the pistol, and the canteen. But he also does come with 2 brand new accessories, those blasters. So doesn't really make sense to me, but that's really my only complaint for this figure. Not a major one. I'm just a bit interested and confused why they did that. But let's now get down to a few quick comparisons. Here she is with Orion Pax, which in the old G1 show they were kind of boyfriend and girlfriend pretty much. And here she is with her pack mate, Dion. And now for some mold comparisons, Road Rocket from the Legacy Velocitron line. And here she is with Flame War from the Shattered Glass line, which is definitely my favorite use of the mold so far. Just love the deco. I actually really do like how it includes an accessory as well, so definitely my favorite. And please do let me know in the comments section below what's your favorite use of this mold so far. Alita, Flame War, Road Rockets, or RC. And I think there's actually supposed to be another use of this mold coming soon, and that Toxitron collection, so I'll have to look forward to getting that, and I'll probably share my thoughts and do a review as soon as I can. And then we have the original RC, and the main difference in mold is the head sculpt, and of course minus that Energon shield accessory. There is an addition of that pistol, the hands are a new mold, and also the entire back of the motorcycle, or the front of the motorcycle, the backpack here, is brand new. The panels are pretty much the same, but that front portion of the motorcycle, as you can see, is brand new. You'll probably have a better view or better look at it whenever they're both in their motorcycle modes, which I'll show off in just a sec. But 2 really cool looking figures, and that is pretty much it for the mini comparisons. Let's now get down to transformation. So now for transformation into the motorcycle mode, what you want to do is actually extend these form pieces to cover the hands, just like that. Then you can actually disconnect the arms at the shoulder joints, like that. Then you can rotate the head all the way around like that. Then you can actually untab this entire crotch piece here and bring that down. Then what you're going to do is fully extend this entire backpack piece right here, rotate around, and this is just going to pretty much fold around the head like that. So just hinge this down fully like that, and that's just going to cover the head like that. Then you can actually hinge this entire assembly out, and then you're going to rotate at this hinge all the way around and bring that up and out of the way. Then you can fully bring the arms back like that. And there is corresponding tabs and slots, and you're just going to tab them together. This actually forms the back portion, kind of the seat portion of the motorcycle. As for the legs, what you want to do is actually collapse the heel spur and the foot together. Then what you're going to do is actually bring the leg out. There is a tab on the heel spur and a slot on the hinge of the leg. Then you can fold out the wheel. Do the same thing on the other side. Just hinge this out, tab that in, bring the other wheel out, and then of course this will form the back wheel. And then what you want to do is bring these sections forward. Just rotate them forward like that, using that joint at the leg. There we go. And then you're just going to push this entire assembly forward like that. And then this is just going to feed through this slot section right here. So just push that through. You might have to move this motorcycle portion out of the way just to get some added clearance. And then push those sections through. And then you're going to tab both halves of the wheel together. Just to make sure they're aligned properly. Like that. Can be a bit tricky at times to do. Just gotta align everything up. And there we go. And there we have that back portion done. And then what you're gonna do is use these panels. There is 2 tabs and 2 slots. And then we will be done with the transformation. So just align everything up and into place. Sometimes it can be a bit tricky to do. There we go. And then do the same thing with the other panel on the other side. Tab that into place. And there we go. And the last step is you can actually bring in the wheel piece. Again, port and peg system. Then you can actually use the kickstand, which is really helpful for a motorcycle figure. And that is the transformation of Erial. Let's now take a look at the details of both figures' alt modes. Let's now take a look at the details of both figures' alt modes. Let's start off with Erial here. Starting at the very front, we have some really nice whitish blue for the windscreen with the handlebars picked out in a really nice dark pink color, and there's some more of that for the actual tire. I do like all the little individual rivets and sections for the inside of the tire done in white, and there's some really cool kind of pipe piston detailing for the tire itself, looking really cool. I did start with the accessories on. This blaster accessory actually forms like a sort of a rear turret or maybe a second exhaust pipe. You can use your imagination, you can call it what you want. There's also a kickstand, which is so helpful for bike transformers. I'm really glad that was included. And there's some really cool gauges on the inside of the motorcycle, which I do like. Would have been nice if there were some more paint apps, because at times it can kind of blend in with the rest of the pink, and you can kind of question yourself, like, what is this supposed to be? But it somewhat resembles gauges. It really just would have been nice if there was maybe like some silver or gunmetal gray, just to make it a bit more obvious. And if we flip to the other side, we actually have a real exhaust pipe, which is blaster piece compatible, and overall rolls pretty well across the ground. This is a cloth surface, so there is a bit of grab. So if you do have like a flat table, it would roll better. And the second accessory, the disc launcher, does form, of course, the front wheel there, which is pretty cool. And there is quite a few more MechTech ports. There's some at the top, because, of course, these actually used to be used for the Energon-infused shield, which is not included in this set. So that's a perfect option for the weapon. And there's actually another one on the other side. So there's quite a few options to store that blaster, which I do quite like. But now for one quick mold comparison, we have the original Legacy, RC, and of course Erial here. And the major mold change is that front section here. Definitely more round with this one, more triangular with this one. But the main body of the motorcycle is pretty much the same thing. But of course the accessories are quite different. That's pretty cool. And for another quick comparison, here she is with Orion Pax. And that is pretty much it for Erial. So let's quickly take a look at the details of Dion. Looking very cool. And his kind of pickup truck mode, very simple. I did, again, start with the accessories on. We have the really cool blasters. I guess they're supposed to be sort of like containers or like packaging back there, which is pretty cool. He has his little pistol on the side there, and the Energon canteen on the other side, which, truth be told, I would probably typically leave that off to the side. It just looks a bit silly in my opinion, but I do like the bluish white for the windscreen with the silver as well. I do like the rims, how they're half orange, half blue. And unfortunately, there is mushroom peg wheels, but actually the back wheels are completely covered, so you really can't tell if those are mushroom peg or not. And it rolls pretty well across the surface, and overall a really fun looking truck in my opinion. And now for one quick mold comparison, here he is with the Orion Pax figure, and in this mode pretty much the exact same truck. The only difference is, of course, those new accessories at the back, and there's some slight new molding back there, but the front of the truck and the side is the exact same thing. And that is pretty much it for the alt modes of Erial and Dion. Let's now get down to the final thoughts. Now for the final thoughts for the Transformers Legacy Evolution Erial and Dion War Dawn 2-pack. I think overall this pack is really good. I do have a few complaints here and there. Let's start off with Dion. So I actually do quite like him. There's quite a bit of new molding, new accessories, new head sculpt. The chest is a brand new molding. Articulation is pretty much the exact same thing. So if you have like Cup or Orion Pax, you know exactly what to expect there. But if you've never experienced this mold just ever, articulation is pretty average for a deluxe. There is no wrist rotation, which I think really could have been a part of the figure. I always question that, especially when I first got Orion Pax. That was actually the first time I experienced the mold. I was always a bit like confused why he doesn't have a wrist rotation, because, you know, typically when a figure doesn't have a wrist rotation, it's because of the transformation or how it stores in the alt mode, but there's no real reason why it couldn't have it. It never really transforms the hand or compromises the hand placement in the alt mode, so a bit confusing that aspect, but overall a really fun figure. Transformation is quite simple. If you do have Orion Pax or Cup, you know exactly what to do there. And again, if you're new to the figure or this mold, really not that complex. I think it's about 20 steps, I'm pretty sure, 19 steps in that range. Overall, pretty fun. Unfortunately, on my copy of this figure here, the tolerances aren't the greatest, so he still has that, you know, removing limb gimmick where you can remove the arms and legs to, you know, recreate that scene from 1986 film where the octopus is, you know, ripping apart Cup. I do like that gimmick. It's cool. It's fun. You can use that in a lot of different ways for pictures, for fun, for stop motions. I do like it, but the tolerances, I definitely suffer because of it, because the arms pop off all the time on this figure, especially on my copy. If you watch the full review, you can definitely see there are several times where it's about to pop off or it does pop off. So a bit annoying in that aspect. It does make it a bit challenging, but overall a very fun transformation. Just keeping, just putting that off to the side, it's pretty fun. As for the truck mode, I really do like it. It's quite simple, just a small little pickup truck. You can store all the accessories on there, which is really nice. I think they probably should have used maybe the truck bed. I actually said the same thing with the Orion packs. There's this open truck bed in the back where you could definitely store like the blaster or the Energon canteen. It would have been nice maybe if they put a few slots or tabs there. I think that would have been pretty cool. And I do like how the new accessories, the blasters, actually form, I guess, little packages or little containers. I'm not really sure what they're supposed to be. Maybe like rocket boosters, really. I guess it's up for interpretation. But overall, a really fun looking truck mode in my opinion. As for Erial, I think it's a good figure. I think definitely where this figure is not as good is the accessories. So with Dion, he actually comes with his original two accessories, the blaster and the Energon canteen. Those accessories came with every previous version or use of this mold, so that makes sense. He actually does come with two brand new ones, the identical blasters that you can see right there, which is really nice. This is an exclusive pack, that makes sense. So Erial, she does come with a little disc launcher. That's kind of a requirement because it does form the front wheel, so that makes sense. She does come with a brand new included pistol, which I'm really glad with, but it actually removes the Energon infused shield, which I think it doesn't really make sense. The figure should come with more accessories, not less, considering this is an exclusive pack. That being said, I really don't know how this is supposed to be released or revealed. Some people have rumored it's supposed to be some sort of like Amazon exclusive, Hasbro PulseCon exclusive of some sort. I guess I'm not really entirely sure. It will be exclusive to one store, so I'm not really sure why they removed that. I know there's a brand new accessory, which is cool to see, but I actually really like the Energon infused weapon. I thought it was really cool. You can be a solid shield, or you can actually split in half and form two blades. I thought it was pretty fun, so a bit disappointing in that, but really doesn't take anything away from the robot mode. Really well designed, brand new head sculpt, brand new hand molding. I actually like how all the fingers are spread apart. Just the appearance of it is cool. There is a bit of cable on the side of the legs. That's why a lot of people don't like this mold just in general. Yes, there is kibble and a backpack, but I've kind of grown used to it, and I think it looks okay. Articulation is pretty average for Deluxe, the same thing as RC, so no surprises there. There is no waist rotation, but it's for a good reason. It's mostly due to transformation. It's kind of locked into place for a good reason, so I can easily give a pass and excuse on that. That really does not bother me. Transformation is the exact same thing, pretty much as RC. The only new step is you actually do rotate the head around this time, because she has that ponytail and the new molded head, so that's really the only major change, different from the other uses of the molds. The motorcycle actually looks really cool. Definitely not my favorite, color deco of them all. Definitely Flame War is my favorite use and deco of this mold just in general. I think it always will be. I just love the flames, the red and black. Just always really pops. Just looks so cool in my opinion. But it's a good deco. I would say it's pretty good accessory storage. The disc launcher forms the front wheel, so really no annoyance there, no problems there. You kind of have to store it that way. But the pistol, the blaster actually attaches to the back wheel, so you can kind of use your imagination and say it's like a second exhaust pipe, or maybe like a rear turret or blaster if you want to. But there's several more MechTech ports for storage, which is good to have several options. There is a kickstand, which I'm so glad. There's been motorcycle figures in the past that don't have a kickstand. I'm like, that makes absolutely no sense, so I'm really glad that was included on this figure. I would say a bit of a complaint where the hands are concerned. I did forget to mention this earlier, but the hands do kind of slightly peek out of the back of the motorcycle. They're not completely visible, but you can tell if you look good enough and hard enough. You can tell those are the arms and the hands, so it would have been nice if there's just like an extra panel to cover that up. That's not really a complaint specific to this character or this use of the mold, really just the mold in general. Every use of this mold has had that position of the hands, so it would have been nice if from the beginning with RC they just put a panel to cover that up, but that's a very minor complaint. Overall, two very fun figures. Whenever you can get this pack, I do highly recommend it. There is a few complaints here and there. It's not the most perfect or interesting pack. There's not a ton of new molding. Definitely like the Rise of Tyranny and the Humble Origins. Those look to be much more interesting characters, but nonetheless, this is a really interesting pack that I do highly recommend. Again, I'm not really sure how it's supposed to be released. I guess whenever you can find it, get it. And I do hope you enjoyed this review, and I will see you next time.